We got the rootinest, tootinest podcast you'll ever hear. Oh, yeah, it's unrelenting, everybody. Woo! How you doing, Gene? Yes, very serious news coming from Gene.
Let me get my low voice down here. There we go.
It's a very early morning. That's why Gene does the show early, so his voice is low.
Low. Appropriately low, though. Not like yours.
Appropriately low. I'm down on Haley's Gene of This is Unrelenting. Yes, live on the Mighty No Agenda stream. If you don't come when it's live, you're probably not listening at all.
I heard we were recommended by CSB to be listened to.
I was going to bring that clip because on Curry and the Keeper, Tina seemed so unimpressed with this show that it was like, beautiful. Like she's heard the show once and never again. And never again. Like, oh,
I feel like she's always surprised when she hears that you and I have a show together.
It's like it's Gene. Oh, yeah. And Darren. Wow.
Darren? Oh. Huh. The cover guy?
Right. That's how it works. It is how it works. You never know what you're going to get with Unrelenting.
That's right.
Otherwise, I mean, we are renaming the show, though, the Scott Gorman Show, as he comes in with $2.50 a show and still more donations than most.
That's very impressive.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we still had to do a wellness check for Dale from Down Under a few times, and we've never heard back, so we think Dale's overboard.
Yeah, maybe.
Or the bastards finally got him over there in Down Underland.
Down Underland, yeah. Well, I kind of feel like he's probably paid us pretty much till we're done.
Yeah, he's like, it's enough. And
he's ahead of the curve.
And Keith Shoemaker kind of came in with the same donation as Scott Gorman, but he does it $10 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the sad puppy donation, which we put different kind of puppies on the Unrelenting artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But we like to thank all of our donors right up front on our shows because it's the 30 good seconds of content.
So yeah. And there we go. That's all the donors.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll be back probably next week, depending on donations. It's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
And I've been watching YouTube videos, and that is dangerous. We got
more donations back when I kept telling people not to donate.
Right. Gene's like, don't donate. And people are like, fuck that guy. I'm going to donate.
Yeah, pretty much.
Going to do it anyway.
The reverse psychology worked back then.
I know.
Well, I just, here's the thing. I think people tend to both listen more and donate more when times are shitty. Like Biden's in office.
Yeah, but we're like 35 minutes away from a nuclear war.
Well, that's what we got to keep reminding people.
The world could end at any minute. Do you really want to die without having donated?
This could be your last and first and last donation.
Yes. So, I mean, think about it that way. I mean, do you really want to go to your grave a douchebag?
Yeah. And for $50, you get a free poncho even.
Yeah, poncho. Woo! I did that on Planet Rage for about 2 or 3 weeks, where if you came in with 50 or above, I'm going to send you a mug. And I think we was either 3 or 4 people out of that whole time.
That's pretty good. Couple $100 for 4 mugs.
And one was for Omega Project, who I know is listening right now. And he said, I don't even want the mug. It's the ultimate. We appreciate that. Nobody wants Gene's ponchos.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Unless they're delivered by a Ukrainian supermodel.
I mean, you'd be, it depends who Amazon's hiring these days.
Yeah, that's true, too. You might. You might get lucky, or it might be Bemrose.
Might be Bemrose, yeah.
I've been watching YouTube videos, and it's dangerous. Dangerous.
It is. Yeah, you get hooked.
Well, it's beyond getting hooked. I've been watching the ones on very high-end PCs, and I'm like, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that 5090 card now. I want it loaded into a system with 128 gig of RAM.
Yeah.
Want it to go nice and fast. I mean, this is it with both of it's I think it's by design that the Apple machines on the high end are very good at the text-based LLMs because of the massive amount of memory, but they suck at image creation and video creation.
Oh.
Well, they're slow because all of this stuff is still, and this is going to be the question if you're following along and you want to know where to put your money as far as in stocks and who you got to invest in.
Oh, don't say it.
When is AI going to make the shift? And I think it will at some point away from only more or less being useful on NVIDIA cards.
Oh, yeah.
The Apple hardware seems very impressive, but the AI image generation is so built for the CUDA system with NVIDIA.
Yeah, they just need to rewrite it because honestly, the GPUs that are on the high-end Macs right now are very close performance-wise to be able to compete with the high-end NVIDIA stuff.
Right.
For tasks where they're native software for both, like Photoshop. You know, Photoshop uses GPU on the PC, it uses them on the Mac as well.
Right.
The difference in times for those tasks is minimal, maybe like 5%.
Well, and the Apple really excels in Photoshop and things like that have been written to use their cores.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think the reason you're seeing the Macs being slow is just simply because they're effectively haven't been optimized. The software hasn't been rewritten to take advantage of the GPUs on the Macs the way they are on the NVIDIA stuff.
Which is even more annoying. It's like, I got the hardware, but
I don't understand what the hell's going on with NVIDIA. My damn NVIDIA stock is still down because I expected it to be easily flying at 300 by now, and it's at 143.
Uh-oh. How's your Tesla stock doing, though?
Tesla's, it's hovering a little over 300. It's all right.
So come on, Elon.
Yeah.
Gene wants to buy some sushi.
I'm still up on Tesla. You know, I would have been a lot more up if I would have sold it before Elon joined politics.
Yeah.
And
you'd
then
have been like, yay.
Rebought it when he was in politics deep.
Yes, pump it up.
It dropped down to just over 100, I think.
You're like, now is the time to put all the money in.
Yeah. But I'm not good at the short-term stock plays, honestly. I'm just, you know, people may think that I'm just good at everything. Most people do. But I have to admit that I've attempted stock thing more than once, and I've always lost money on it. So my default position is buy and hold.
You mean you haven't trained an AI yet just to tell you what to do every morning, when to buy, when to sell?
No.
If somebody has that AI, they can make a lot of money if you could guarantee a return. I mean, I know you can't guarantee anything, but if you could regularly get a nice return.
Adam Curry spent probably 4 hours with me walking me through on what to do. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but he's pretty good on the old stock market day trading.
It's a good way to go. It's a good way to put your money in. Have it work for you.
It's a good way to actually make some money when you're doing a side gig as a podcaster.
Exactly. Yeah. But then you don't want to give anybody your expertise for free because that ruins it.
But then also, you know, I mean, I don't know. I get it conceptually. I've never been consistently able to make money on the stock market ever. And
that's
I've
why
tried for 40 years.
And you've got a guy for everything else. Don't you have a stock guy?
I do. Yeah.
I mean, even I have a stock guy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Because it's like, you cannot know. It's like being your own doctor, which you like to do as well, though.
Which I kind of like that. Yeah, that's easier, I think.
It's nice to have an expert to bounce things off of. Like, well, what do you see in here? What do you think? Where it's going to move? Nobody knows these kind of things like Disney Everybody was like, oh boy, man, when they come out with Disney Plus, it is going to be the streaming service, their stock's going to soar. And they came out with Disney Plus and they pissed everybody off with the woke stuff and the stock went boom.
Mm-hmm.
Like surprise, but now they're opening up a theme park in Abu Dhabi. So yay! You never know.
That makes sense. That's where the money is. But I'll tell you what, it'll be interesting. See how they do their Aladdin ride in Abu Dhabi.
It'll be very interesting on a lot of these things.
How
you look at things.
I suspect all the women will be pretty covered up on that ride.
And I bet you all of the LGBTQ folks that work at Disney,
they're all banned.
They're going to go. No, they'll be shipped over there to work there because it'll be such a nice park.
They'll be shipped over there to be thrown off buildings.
That's a new ride at the new Disney World.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Like, oh no, accident. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah. I think there's a lesbian chick on YouTube that I watched.
No.
I know, amazing, right?
It's hard to believe.
And she's like conservative lesbian. And so she's saying, pride is dead. And thank God.
Well, it certainly didn't help anybody.
Yeah. So she's like, the average gay person doesn't want to be seen anywhere near a gay pride parade. It's like the cringiest, most,
well, it
worst
turned
way
from
to portray being gay that you can imagine. So,
well, I think it went from something that was more of a toned down celebration, normal kind of parade that you'd see for a variety of things. And then it quickly turned into a Village People concert, X-rated. And it's like, this is where the difference came in.
Village People. Yeah.
Right.
Where it used to be only limited to San Francisco because that was the one where there was always, BDSM stuff and a lot of nudity.
Well, that was the other part of these things where it's like, you can't do that if you want to be inclusive of all ages.
Right.
You can't get your strong hanging out as you're going by on your float. It's like everybody takes things too far.
Yeah.
And it's very weird what people want. Like I saw an article yesterday that's like, the LA Dodgers have not yet commented on or done anything about the ice raids in their city. It's like they were a baseball team.
No.
What the fuck do you think they're going to do? They're going to play baseball. They shouldn't be worried about politics or anything else going on, you idiots.
Yeah, but he's doing all the little tasks for them, because this is what I love. Too liberal. The problem with all the deportations has nothing to do with human rights. It has to do with removal of their kitchen staff.
Right. Who is going to clean my toilets?
Yeah. Who can clean my toilets if all the illegals are gone? You shouldn't be. You're evil for deporting them. No, you're evil for thinking of illegals as just slave labor.
Right. You don't think of them as your doctors and lawyers and, pharmacists or whatever. No, they're manual labor. The economy's going to collapse. I've heard a bunch of people. If we deport all these folks.
The only thing that's going to collapse is the number of votes that Gavin Newsom gets.
Well, that guy's a moron.
Yeah, but he's probably going to be the nominee.
And he lost out, man. The appellate court said, fuck you. Trump can send in the troops if he wants to. It's under, they're like, the law says he's supposed to tell the governor, but it doesn't mean that
that's correct.
Was illegally.
The governor doesn't get to decide. He doesn't give permission to the president. The way it's written, the president will tell the governor what he needs, and the governor will provide it. And by provide it, I mean send in the troops.
And the National Guard goes in and they protect federal buildings and federal workers doing their job, like ICE.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is he absolutely doesn't need any permission to send in non-federal guard troops either. Like full-time soldiers, Army, Marines, you name it,
Navy,
whatever.
Fucking SEALs.
Yeah, let's send in the SEALs. Exactly,
the kind that go sneak and peek and shoot and loot. And
not the kind that go What's the noise they make? I can't make its own noise.
No, that's a monkey.
That's a monkey.
It's a similar kind of a.
It's like a wind blowing out their mouth kind of noise.
Yeah.
Eat. No, that's a dolphin. I can't think of it. I can't think. That's a dolphin having sex with a human.
How do you know what that sounds like, Gene?
Because I've been to the dolphin park. Believe me, I know what that sounds like.
Mom, what's that guy jumping up on that dolphin for? Mm-hmm. Yeah, get out of the water, Jimmy.
They tend not to show that at the water parks, but you've seen the videos, right, of like tourists in tropical places frolicking with the dolphins until the dolphin starts taking the girl's bottoms off and then
taking liberties
to rub up against her.
Taking some liberties.
Dolphins are smart animals, they say. They figure this shit out.
They're like, we're having a little bit of fun. I thought we were partying. Like,
hey, just relax. It's all good.
Nothing,
I'm
bro.
A fish. Well, not really a fish, but you're a person. It's no chance, no risk of impregnation that we know of. So it's all good.
Might just be a small risk of disease.
Not really. They're waterborne critters. They don't have disease.
No. But we should all live in the sea then.
Well, I mean, this is why I eat so much sushi, because it's the safest thing to eat in the world. It's
I'm not sure that's true.
Well, you can't possibly get sick from it. That's my point.
I think you can. We don't give medical advice on Unrelenting.
No, we definitely don't give medical advice. Everybody ought to know that.
Went to the doctor this week.
No, because this is why I eat sushi all the time. It's because it's safer than chicken and everything else. Because it comes from the sea, which means that it's healthy.
The sea, right? Because the sea is not polluted at all. Went to the doctor this week, and of course the cholesterol was high. So I'm kind of
whatever.
Put me on sushi, do the fish oil supplements.
Exactly. Put you on sushi.
Right, fish oil. That's what for 6 months we'll have fish oil twice a day. And there are varying degrees of fish oil, let me tell you, when you look at it. I finally went with the Now brand because the Now brand seems relatively legit. I don't trust a lot of them. Lord, I know you've worked in the space. And you're like, Now sucks. Is that what you're thinking? It's like they're horrible.
No. It's a big orange bottle. It's all right.
The Pfeiffer is like, high cholesterol in Chicago? Never.
No.
The Bears. The Bears. Big Italian beef, but come on. Deep dish pizza. Come on. No cholesterol.
Cholesterol is overrated. Here's the issue. This is not medical advice. It's just for you. The problem with cholesterol isn't the cholesterol. The problem with cholesterol is the calcium that sticks to the cholesterol and ends up creating these sort of gooey balls in your arteries, and actually not even in your arteries, but just outside of your arteries. If it was in your arteries, the blood would just swoosh it around and it would move around. But there's actually the arterial lining is actually between those pockets of what's referred to by people as cholesterol, but it's really not cholesterol. It's a sort of a calcified goo that has cholesterol in it. But the calcium is the problem, is my point. It's not the cholesterol. Cholesterol is the building block of things like, testosterone.
Oh, nobody wants testosterone. No.
Yeah, no. Who needs that? It's like your hormones are built out of cholesterol. So,
hey,
taking cholesterol blockers is not a good thing.
I don't have a problem with hormones. They moan just fine.
You will if you start taking the pills. So what do you do about the calcium? Well, the calcium becomes less available for the building of the plaque if you take a combination of vitamin D, K2, and potassium. So if you take decent dosage of all three of those, not the stupid recommended ones, but a decent dosage, which you can discover pretty easily on YouTube, that greatly reduces the opportunity for the calcification of the cholesterol, which is the real problem. It's not the cholesterol itself.
The more you know. And this is not medical advice.
Absolutely not medical advice. Just the truth.
But it's like, I get it. I understand. At least he wasn't like, go on a statin, go on a statin, go on a statin. But I guess.
Yeah, mine stopped telling me that because I told him I'm not doing that.
You're like, I don't need it. I don't want it.
I may be fat, but I'm not going to be taking fucking statins.
No, come on. They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
They dry up all your CoQ10.
I mean, that's the thing is they effectively, the statins effectively reduce your body's ability to produce hormones.
It's amazing.
And who needs hormones, right?
Nobody.
Of any kind. Nobody.
I was intrigued because I was already taking the CoQ10, but that was the recommendation was the fish oil with CoQ10. So to do both.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be fish oil. So you're just doing the fish oil for the vitamin D. That's really the main thing that's in there.
I do my vitamin D, baby. I'm getting my omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah. So that's the fish oil part of it. What do you like the taste of the fish oil?
Well, I take it in capsules, so there is no taste. I mean, I don't have any issue at all. I know a lot of people, I guess, when you take it,
they don't like it.
You get the burp.
It's actually, I think it's actually pretty damn tasty. I just had cod liver the other day, last week anyway, and it is very tasty. You think of it like a pate, but you didn't have to force a duck or a goose or a chicken to be force-fed grain.
Oh, man, then what fun is it?
Naturally what their liver tastes like. It's super soft and smooth, and you can literally just put it on a piece of toast and spread it with a knife. And that's like concentrated, what the fish oil is made from, except it's the actual liver of the cod. And other fish, too. Other than cod, salmon is also very good for that.
Cod liver oil. I remember that as a kid that was used for stuff.
Yeah. But
except that was liquid.
Gross.
Yeah. Well, that was liquid.
Yeah, exactly. It was liquid, and it was I think it very quickly oxidized, which is what gives it the bad taste, because no one gave a shit about taste back when we were kids.
No, they just wanted, there was a
shut
punishment.
Up and eat it.
Right. You came home and you said, fuck, and mom's like, Gene, take your cod liver oil. Oh, you'll be healthier. Don't worry.
Well, I ate a lot of cod liver when I was a kid. That was kind of
was that a Russian delicacy?
Yeah, kind of.
I believe it.
I mean, it's sold in, it's just like sardines. It's a delicacy in the not particularly hard to find way. So if you like sardines, if you like canned fish, in some places, although most of the U.S. is not the case, but in some places, like cod liver is right there, right next to the sardines in the case.
Interesting.
So I guess it's delicacy is not a bad word for it, but it's something that more people, I think, consume in Russia than they do here in the U.S. for sure.
Well, that's because they know what they're doing. Their fearless leader, Vlad, he tells them to eat your cod liver.
Yeah, but I think it tastes good. I mean, it doesn't taste like the old cod liver oil that we took as kids. It tastes nothing like that. It's actually got a very kind of tasty fish taste to it.
Have you taken your B12 today, Gene?
No, not yet.
I already took my pill. I forgot to do the thing. Right, there we go. I already took mine with a little bit of Palm Antioxidant Super Tea. Pomegranate lemonade tea, yeah.
Oh.
It's a little weirdly shaped bottle. And it's like there's like 90 calories, which just seems excessive.
Diversifying, huh?
Well, there was an ad for it, and I know they make just pomegranate juice, but there was an ad in the doctor's office for the pomegranate juice.
Oh my gosh.
And then when I was ordering my groceries, these were on sale for $1 a piece. So I grabbed 10 of them and just said I'm going to try it and see. Again, as far as a drink that is a little bit healthier than.
And how is it?
It's not bad. It's not bad. And the other thing that I tried was the new from our friends, not sponsors, of Liquid Death. They have a new root beer flavored drink. And at first I was like, well, I don't know. But when you put it into the category of a flavored water rather than really expecting the full sweet root beer experience that one would get, I think it's decent. And it's the size of a can, the 12-ounce regular can, not the 19-ounce big Liquid Death boy. But in a 12-ounce can, it's 10 calories. So and I know, there's a little bit of the stevia in there. But I think
I'm not a fan of stevia. I think it tastes gross.
Yeah, there's a weird aftertaste to it. Not a big fan, but with this, it didn't really seem to overpower anything. You just have to watch the stuff that normally comes with the stevia, that erythritol or what is it, erythritol or the
erythritol. I do like a lot better than stevia.
That's the stuff that'll kill you, though.
Real sugar.
It's bad.
No, it won't kill you. It'll just kill insects. It's different. Are you an insect?
Yes.
Well,
you don't know what my DNA is.
And it's true enough.
Like it's bug killer. People hear bug killer and they're like, I don't want that.
Yeah. But so what? A lot of things used to be bug killers that's in food now.
Well, true, but now they're going to get rid of all the artificial. I love the cereal companies now. The minute that we got RFK Jr. in there.
Yeah.
Was Heinz was one of them. They're like, we're taking all the artificial dyes out of things.
Except for the blue. The blue is allowed now because it's all natural.
Don't try to shut us down. No, it's good. All the artificial stuff that we eat. And you wonder why, as a society, that Americans have just gotten so fat. And I'm one of them. And it's like, I don't think...
You're an American?
Believe it or
Damn.
not. It's like, I don't think I really eat that poorly. It's like, I eat a lot of turkey. I don't regularly buy ice cream. If I'm going to buy the ice cream, we get one of those Haagen-Dazs coffee ice creams a week.
Yep.
And the wife and I split it from one of those. So it's not like I'm eating 4 of those a week or a day. Don't buy cookies and cake.
Split that. That's a one-man size portion.
I know. Well, this is why once you get the even smaller size that they sell for $1 a piece here when they're on sale.
Tiny.
I know. Gene's like, that's not even enough. But it comes with a little spoon, which is so convenient.
Yeah, it does. They've always come with a spoon. I have a memory of being like 10 years old and my grandma buying me one of those at a drugstore.
And the spoon brought such joy. Like, how am I going to eat this? It's like, it's in the lid,
with
kid.
A built-in spoon in the lid. It was great.
It is genius.
Yeah.
You could just eat it right there. You don't even have to wait till you get home. One of my favorite, and I actually have I think still a memory of this. It's hard to tell because I just heard the story so much. But I was maybe, 6, 7 years old, somewhere around there. And we were grocery shopping, my mom and I. We got into the car and had a bag with the candy in the car. And I locked the doors and just started eating the candy. She had to get somebody to come and unlock in the rain yet too.
But I just wouldn't open the door for your mom.
Oh yeah, because I had candy. I was like, "You're not going to let me eat this candy,
not until I'm done."
If you get in, the candy's over. Some kids are like, "Sorry, got to do the candy."
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember taking like a 6-pack of Coca-Cola to school every day in the morning.
Were you selling those to your friends that couldn't?
No, I was selling candy, but it made me so much money that I was able to just bring other junk food for myself.
You're just sitting down at the table, 6-pack of Coke. You were like a little Russian oligarch.
I totally was a candy king. That's for sure. Because I figured out by like 9th grade, I figured out that these stupid sports teams always do candy sales.
Yeah.
Where, they get all the kids to start walking around with boxes of crappy candy. I was like, why do they only do that for like a month? So I started selling candy year round.
You just go down to the store. You didn't have a Costco.
Yeah, I was exactly. It was a pre-Costco, but a wholesale club thing. I would buy these giant boxes of candy. And then I would just, my backpack would be half full of candy, half school books. And after a while, all the kids knew that if they wanted to buy candy, I always had some.
Gene's got the good stuff, man.
Yeah. And it's better than the crap that they sold for the whatchamacallit. And then when it came time for the sports teams to start selling candy, I'd have guys coming to me that didn't really want to sell candy. And they're like, hey, do you want to buy my whole box for like half price? I'll just get my dad to pay the rest.
I'm like, you can have the candy.
I'll give you 30% for it. So I would be buying up the entire candy consignment of the sports teams and then reselling them for normal price. But I'd be getting them wholesale.
Now, anybody that knew you then is not surprised about the diabetes thing then.
I didn't eat the candy. Most of it tastes like crap, man. Look, if you run a whorehouse, you're the last guy that's going to be using the service.
Well, that's true. Tom Tomsky said he sold weed. So, I mean, that was a different thing in high school or grammar school.
Yeah, but they're both legal in each country. So,
true. You know. That is true. Yeah. You have any Reggie bars?
Did I? No, I had good candy.
The Reggie bars are back. I want to order a case. Although it's summer now, and I'm afraid that you can't really order those into Chicago unless they go that extra route of wrapping it with some dry ice.
Do that. No,
I know,
dude. Even stuff that legitimately should be cool gets delivered warm.
Except for my dad, the doctor put him on like VSL3 probiotic.
Yeah.
And those have to be refrigerated and they ship those with dry ice. And it's like, how much money is that costing just to ship these things so they stay cold on their way?
Quite a bit.
And I don't really believe they actually work, but there's that.
Why do they not work?
I don't think they really do much, at least not for him. I mean, maybe some people, if your gut's all fucked up.
No, probiotics totally work.
Which kind do you recommend? What are you on right now, Gene?
Acidophilus.
Acidophilus. What a strain that is.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell that? No.
ACIDOPHILUS.
You're right in front of the bottle.
Of course I'm in front of the bottle.
He's got a whole, that's all he's got the microphone and 49
I've got the Lactobacillus acidophilus
bottles of supplements, which reminds me I do need to order some more taurine.
And Bifidobacillium bifidus.
That is like the best.
You got to get both of those in the same bottle.
And if you do that, your gut will be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. And the company that I was running, we used to have chocolate that was probiotic. So it was basically it was chocolate with bacteria in it.
Chocolate was a delicious.
It was very good. The only issue with it was it had to be stored cold, which it just makes everything a little pricier when you have to deal with.
Of course.
Because otherwise you would have a gooey mess of bacteria instead of a little square of bacteria.
Well, it's interesting. You have to know what you're consuming. The newer blood pressure medication that they put me on when I was in the hospital with a little bit of the racing heart this year, I didn't realize until fairly recently. And I knew it had to be something with a drug interaction, but wasn't 100% sure because it was like within 15 minutes or so to a half hour of eating breakfast, man, I was going no matter what. And then I was looking through and I'm like, okay, this is the new pill. And I read it and it's like, take this 1 hour before eating. And I always figure when somebody says, take this before breakfast, you take it and then you have breakfast. I moved that to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour waiting between the time that I took that. So instead of taking it right with breakfast, the minute I get up, I pop this pill, have breakfast 45 minutes to an hour later, these stomach problems all disappeared.
Like, most medicine that I've been prescribed says take with food.
Right. So you assume.
And I never do because I take everything in the morning and I don't eat until sometime between lunch and dinner because I generally will eat just one meal a day, sometimes two. And And so I've gotten very used to taking all these drugs without food, like for hours. And after a while, your body gets used to it. You don't have any issues.
But this didn't go away. I was figuring, okay, it'll work. Like a lot of these side effects, your body just goes, fuck it, I'm not fighting it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not this stuff. Had to change what time I took that. But then I was like, was it the magnesium? I'm doing like Chat GPT. Like, okay, here's everything I'm taking. What is causing it?
Chat GPT lies.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why would it lie?
Yeah, it enjoys to do that.
It's like, oh, you're taking that? Try this.
Mm-hmm.
We'll kill this human.
You know, you have ChatGPT telling you, hey, make sure when you take all your medicines that you take it with a spoonful of bourbon.
Right. It's much better.
Yeah, way better that way for you.
The bourbon,
not medical advice,
helps get the medication into the organs that need it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That much is obvious, I think.
Yeah.
You don't want to mix alcohol and a lot of those drugs with the AI stuff. So it's like, I want to play with the AI stuff. And now I'm really getting the FOMO thanks to Gene. Like, well, now I'm getting the FOMO, like the 50. I want the 5090. I'm like, I can't afford the 5090
it's
card.
Expensive, man. I was absolutely planning. I skipped the 4090 knowing that I would buy the 5090 until I realized they're $4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's not a realistic.
And there is
machinery.
There was one that they have come out with now just for AI.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the model number, but it's basically tuned to not be for your gaming stuff, just for the AI.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It has, I think, 32 gig of RAM, maybe even 48 on these things.
Yeah.
And you, of course, can daisy chain them. And these things were like 8,000 to 9,000 a piece.
Oh, yeah. But they're probably more than twice as fast.
Oh, when you do the comparisons, yes, which is interesting when you look at all this stuff.
That makes sense. You should get one of those instead.
I know. I want to build a machine, although I would have to put it probably in the basement, although I've got the room, because I'm assuming it would generate a lot of heat and noise.
I don't think that's all that different than the miners that Adam has.
Well, no, but those are loud too.
Yeah, that's why they're in the garage.
Adam's got a few miners tied up in the garage?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making enough money, you say?
Every month.
Wow. But you look at these things in this size. I mean, that is the funny thing with the comparisons now between Apple and PC. When you see these high end, besides the Mac Pro, which is the size of a normal PC case, kind of.
But that's old now. Like that's the thing. They release a crazy expensive computer, which they then don't update.
They forget about.
Yeah. I was like, only like 0.5% bought this, so who cares?
And you look at the studio and you look at the size of that, and then you compare that to the what you could buy with that $3,000 to $4,000 $5,000 in a PC, and the cases for the PC are like the size of my house.
By the way, a good case is $500 now.
Well, yeah, which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah. Now, the one difference too, though, is between the PC and the Macs is obviously Macs have tiny cases, but the PC, I'm running everything water cooled. So the video card's water cooled, the motherboard's water cooled. This is back to what I was doing this would have been 2005.
Yeah, when you had your super fast machine.
I had my super fast sub freezing temperature machine. It was actually running a mixture. We call it antifreeze. It was a custom mix of fluids that I put in there, but it's basically running antifreeze at about minus 10 degrees Celsius, and so it is essentially colder than ice. So it was coming in at that temperature into the PC, and it was cooling the chipset, the video card, the CPU. It was cooling everything, and by the time that liquid was returning back to the cooler, it was at about 75 degrees.
Damn. So no was going to be like, wouldn't there be condensation? But I guess if everything is so hot that it's, you're not really having that problem.
There's no condensation. Well, the condensation would be at the chiller side, not the where it gets warmer side. But it had a half horsepower pump pumping the liquid.
Wow, that's a little overkill.
No, not at all. The refrigeration unit was about 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet by 1.5 feet, and ran on 220.
Well, this was always, the thoughts of like, well, why don't you just put a computer inside of a refrigerator?
It was a $10,000 refrigerator would get hot that way. It was a $10,000 PC back when nobody had $10,000 PCs.
And that's what made you a professional gamer.
It absolutely was. That got me to the number 3 spot in Battlefield 42 back then. Because I had a T1 line, which was $1,500 a month, and a PC running at over 4 gigahertz back then. And in the 15 years ago? Yeah, 20 years ago now. Yeah. So it was very impressive. If without the cooling, the PC ran at normal speed at about half that.
Well, yeah, this was back in the day when it was all heat based, where the chips, you could just keep pushing them and pushing them and pushing them.
Yep.
See, I have never had, and I hate to admit this, I've never had a water liquid cooled machine. Always had air cooling. Yeah. It was right about that time when I stopped building my own.
Yeah.
That
and there's a difference too. I mean, like the box I have right now is liquid cooled, but it's all off the shelf liquid cooled. There's no refrigeration system.
Oh yeah, and that
was actually refrigerated.
You very less have to worry about leaks now than you did back in the day too.
Yeah. Knock on wood here. I've been running this computer for 5 years now, almost 5. I think 4.5 years. And it's a closed system. There's no adding of liquid or subtracting of liquid. Just because all it's doing is it's a small pump pushing a liquid, which is not water, even though a lot of people refer to them as water cooled, but it's not water. It's pushing it to the CPU, which then boils the liquid, and in the process gives all its heat away. And then that boiled gas then goes to the condensator and then returns back to liquid form, and that whole thing is just cooled off by 3 fans.
Yes, running fairly quietly, fairly slowly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fins.
Yeah, it's a system based on phase change of the liquid. Again, I think water is a component, but it's not pure water. Otherwise,
you would rust.
You'd have explosions happening. But this is not quite as volatile as water steam, but it's still a changing phase. So it's I think a much cheaper, simpler system than what I was using. I was using brute force refrigeration.
Now, do you have any thoughts on?
And the whole thing was lit with UV lights, and
of course,
I had UV dye in my liquid,
so it glows.
And the case was clear acrylic. The entire case was clear acrylic. So yes, it glows. All the refrigeration lines were all glowing green. It was green dye that I put in there, so it looked like nuclear waste.
And I think it's funny how much they put into just the looks of these machines. And I don't care about any of that, because if I buy one, it's going in the desk. I'm not even going to see it.
Yeah.
It's like, so don't. I just want it to work. I want it to look. I like the systems that look like a normal, boring machine, but just run like a raped ape, as they say.
The best cases generally are just basically made of fans.
Oh, yeah, because you got to get the airflow.
Yeah, fans going all over the place. I think I have fans in 3 different sides.
Do you have a favorite builder? I mean, I've read a little bit, like CyberPower PC seems to pop up at the top of a lot of these lists as far as...
I've had a CyberPower machine. I've had an iBuyPower machine, and then I've had stuff that I've built purely from components, like buying a can't pronounce it, case. They make really nice aluminum cases.
Aluminium.
And yeah, it's aluminum. Thank you very much. Aluminium is a misspelling of aluminum. That's documented.
Yes, aluminium.
The British misspelled the word and then kept pronouncing it the wrong way.
Very good, sir. Aluminium.
Mm-hmm. So, Lee and Lee, I think, is the case maker I like.
I saw
there. If you're gonna do a pre-built one, just use one of the sites that like configures them, and make sure that you first watch some gaming YouTube videos, or at least read the comments to get the discount code.
Oh, well, you have to have
all these companies advertise with gamers, and they generally offer discount codes.
I know one of it was out of stock, but they even had a couple of the CyberPower ones at Costco, which was kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But I did see
CyberPower may no longer. Well, I mean, they may be again, but I watched an interview with them, and they essentially stopped all sales to the U.S. when the Trump tariffs hit.
They're like, we can't do it
because they showed on the whiteboard that even if the tariff is 25%, they are losing money. There's no point in selling to the U.S. So they just they shut down U.S. sales and just shipped all over the world.
We have the Creator PC Ultimate, which has a Intel.
Are you looking at their website?
Yes, Core Ultra 9, a 1590 with 32 gig of RAM, 64 gig of memory, and a 4 terabyte WD M2 hard drive. That's $49.29, which isn't really that crazy when you compare them to
honestly, the card alone is $4,000, so you're getting a PC for like $300.
Yeah, when you think about the case and everything else, yeah. I saw Linus or no, it wasn't Linus. It was some other hippie-looking dude, another tech guy, which looks like he should be in a hair metal band.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Tech Jesus.
Maybe, yeah. That would make sense. Dark hair, long
dark hair, beard.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he looked at the Alienware, the latest version of like their top end, and he's like,
not very good.
He said it was good, but it was way overpriced.
Yeah.
The new Area 51. He's like, just way overpriced.
Yeah. And they always end up having those on Christmas sales for half price anyway. So it's not, you never want to buy one just whenever you want it. You always, if you get an I've given an Alienware as a gift before to somebody I was trying to get into video games. And
Alienware was like the shit back in the day when they first, before they were Dell, right?
It's just a Dell now. Yeah.
Pfeiffer says RMS. What's RMS?
Runemead Square? What?
Maybe. Oh no, that's not the guy's name. What I'm thinking, right? The guy that did the videos. I don't know. I thought somebody was correcting us, but I mean, I should just not pay attention.
Oh, maybe that's his initials.
Could be, or Stallman, Richard Stallman.
I just always know him as Tech Jesus, but I do watch him. I just don't pay attention to his name.
Well, there's so many people on the YouTubes now. Well, this is okay.
Really, you just discovered this.
Gene, have you seen this thing? There's a site where there's a bunch of videos.
Yeah, Gamers Nexus is the website. Gamers Nexus is his thing.
They create videos, Gene, and they upload them, and you can watch them. Yes, there's a site that has this.
People would probably put all kinds of garbage on there. How could it possibly be allowed for anybody to go watch things other people put it together?
I don't know. Do you have a HeyGen account?
No.
Because I'm wondering, when I look at what they offer, which you can create an avatar, of yourself or whatever. And according to what it looks like, you can do unlimited video creation every month. And each video, the only thing is the videos can't be more than a half hour, which why would you need to? You can splice them together, do whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking it was like $30 a month or something. And I was like, well, if you could do that, I could take all of my fucking random thoughts, just make a avatar and then just make it into a video fucking show.
Yeah, and if you do that and looks cool enough, I'll do it too.
But it's like, this is one way to get the YouTube on the, and right. Well, this is also, we have the ability, because let's be honest, you're just feeding it the audio.
We have the tech.
And it's creating the video
of talking heads.
The talking head. So we could do this show and never have to be on video.
Exactly. And then still be on video.
Right.
Yeah. I think I've been looking occasionally, like maybe every 6 months, I see what tools have popped up. What I'm looking for, what I'd love to have to do what you're describing, is an AI-based video generation system that takes a soundtrack, analyzes what people are talking about, and then puts together a collage of public domain video clips of the topic that people are talking. So if we start talking about Iran, it'll start just grabbing videos of Iran that it can use legally and chuck them in there, so that there's basically something playing in the background the whole time we're talking that's showing images of what we're talking about. When we're talking about the drugs, there'll be images of drugs. You've seen these types of videos. They're out there. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
That are on any topic. And you know for a fact, some AI put together the video portion of that.
I'm not even sure if it's an
AI.
AI.
Wrote the text too.
It probably wrote the text, but I think there are the stock video where people just go and they look them up and then they throw it in manually, which isn't
do that
hard.
Automatically without any human intervention.
Well, yeah, because you think about it, the way I do the chapters now, it's the same thing. You go to the AI and say, tell me what between what time and this time, what's going on. So they should be able to do what you're asking.
Yeah, and there is a site I've seen that'll do that, but not well. Like it'll put in a video if it finds that it has a video on the topic mentioned, it'll put it in. But we end up with is basically, here's a 30-second clip and then followed by 3 minutes of nothing. Here's another 1 minute long clip of the topic followed by another 5 minutes of nothing. Like it doesn't have enough video repertoire to fill up the whole space.
It's like, just make it stretch, repeat it, do whatever you got to do.
Just create a new AI-based video based on that video. What's the problem?
Well, right. Well, this is the oddity now on all of the Photoshop stuff, all of the Adobe stuff. And no question, this is one of the things they are pushing with the video. And I have not tested this, so I can't tell you the quality, but usually if Adobe's going to put it into their normal software, it's pretty good. They have the generative extend, and it could do it up to 3 or 5 seconds. So if you have a video, it will add 3 to 5 seconds at the end of that. It'll just create more for what it thinks should go on at that point. And you can use that for transitions and things like that. But that would mean like, hey, as long as you have some static images, you might be able to use that to create the video portion of it. It's very interesting. Which means you're also not going to be able to trust anything that you see online. And I don't know if that's a big deal or not. It's like, for me, I think it's great.
You keep saying this like it's a new thing.
I know, but it's getting so much better. It is getting so much better. They had a 2-year anniversary on the one AI art site that I like, tensor.art. I guess they're out of Hong Kong, because they were like 2-year celebration, get the full year, which they give you 300 credits a day. Plus they give you a bonus, never expiring 55,000 credits. If it was like for $80, $75, $80. And I'm like, oh, that's really not bad, because you can create an image with 2 credits. So, I mean, that's like 100,000 images a year, which for $80 seems okay.
That's not bad.
And you can use Flux, you can use Stable Diffusion, whatever you want.
I think I pay like $15 a month for the music thing.
See, so this is cheaper than that. But the thing I ran into, which was really pissing me off, trying to do heavy metal album covers Or even I think we may have talked about it last week, the Cars Vargas image.
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of not trying to do porn or anything really that untoward and having the AIs go.
Porn? It'll do porn. It'll do porn really well.
That ChatGPT won't.
Well, maybe not. Who uses that?
No, nobody. But that's why I'm like, okay, I need something that is not censored.
Use what the porn sites use. Do not porn.
What?
You need to use the AI that the porn sites use, but then not use them for porn.
Right. Do you know which AI sites those are? Because that would
don't, because I don't happen to run one. So I don't know.
You should be like, what's the good stuff?
Yeah.
What is the good stuff?
I got a guy for that.
Right. And I'm like, okay, can't pass up on that.
Porn guy.
But then I was trying to pay, and it was like set me through, and obviously they're from Hong Kong because I went into my Lightning and I bought a prepaid Visa card.
And
it wouldn't let me pay. But then it's like, well, if you're having a problem, download
give us
our
access
app.
to your bank.
Better. Yeah. That was easier because they said just download the app, which I downloaded the app on my Android phone and then went to buy, and Google processed the payment. So it was way easier.
Nice.
Like, oh, that's cool. So I was able to use the, not that I wouldn't have found a use for the.
They have a nice money laundering app. I get it.
Right. Pretty much. Thank you, Google, for taking that card, which I put the username on the card, Dirk Gently.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah.
How are you going to track this down? Yeah. It's like, it's beautiful. And here's the other thing that pissed me off. For anybody out there that thinks you can just roll up a Proton Mail free account, which I pay for Proton Mail now.
Yeah, I do too.
And I like what they do.
Yeah.
But the free accounts are fucking bullshit now. Because I rolled up a free account for this AI site. And I went through and signed up for the AI site. That was no problem. When I tried to sign up for another site right afterwards, we're locking your account until you give us a backup email or phone number to prove. It's like, fuck you. Like, what's that all about? Why are you looking at what the fucking emails are coming in? Like, we see multiple emails coming in from sites that are requesting verification. So we are going to lock your account. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought this really brought Proton Mail down a huge amount as far as how much I trust them. Because how much is their sales pitch like, well, we don't pay any attention to anything. Only you can read your emails.
And them.
Yeah, well, they pretend they can't.
The rest of the internet.
They pretend they can't because of the fact that they're saying, well, it's all encrypted until it gets to your account, and only you can see what that is. I'm like,
that's
what?
True. That's all technically true.
Until they like say, well, they can too. But this was
they can see where it's coming from.
Automated abuse. Here's what your email I got from Proton. Automated abuse detection.
That dude on X that you texted, Scaramanga.
Yeah.
Because he does full-blown, awesome-looking movies with AI. Like the kind of shit that just, looks like something you'd see in the film festival.
Yeah, I gotta meet this guy.
Have a pretty good idea of what all the tools are out there and what does what.
Yeah, I need to go have a pizza with him. That is, he's in the area here.
Oh, he is. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I told him I want to interview him if I ever get Sergine back up and running. I definitely want to have an interview. Or unless you want to do one, do an episode where we interview somebody, because I dabble a little bit in that for fun. You mostly dabble in the non-moving images.
Yes, well, because the technology was not really
and
easily within reach.
Like music related stuff. But what he's doing is just next level. I mean, it's like full on movie clips.
Well, just think if he could do that for an artist that you create in the music realm and release a video.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because all my music shit is sung by a sultry voiced 27-year-old female.
And I saw a video the other day too, where a guy was using an AI to change his singing to all these different voices. And it's like, oh my God, that is amazing.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And you can do the pitch correction at the same time.
Yeah.
But
well, and it's not even pitch correction. Like they literally now will basically do what Love and Voice does, but in real time.
Right. Well, this you could do both. I mean, really, if I were to sing the thing, it'd be totally flat. It could do the other voice, but also correct your pitch at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, and not make it sound like a horribly singing woman because they're using my pitch that I went through. Dear Proton community member, your account is currently restricted from registering on third-party services. To lift this restriction, you need to add a verified recovery email address or phone number, or consider upgrading your account. Like, our system flagged an unusual increase in third-party service registration emails. Two.
That's pretty unusual.
As a result,
why are you using that? Why aren't you just using Google Gmail?
We have implemented these measures to protect the overall reputation of Proton Mail. Because it's way harder to fucking get a Gmail account now.
Is it really?
Yeah, go try. Go try to do it without a phone number attached to it.
You need a phone number attached? Oh, jeez. How about Yahoo?
I think the same way.
Super easy to get.
I would have to check. I have not tried Yahoo recently.
Yeah.
And I know there are services out there that you can pay with Lightning to get a very short-term phone number to use with these kind of things.
Yeah.
But where they really fuck you in the ass then is like 5 months later when you go back and they're like, we need to verify that same phone number.
Yep. I know. I've been paying for a temporary number for 4 years now.
It's not so temporary anymore, is it?
Well, I keep renewing it. Well, it's $60 a year,
which isn't bad.
It's $5 a month. So it's cheaper than the cell phone, obviously, but I never use it except to verify things. And it's like, do I keep it? Do I just not care? What do I do?
Yes, because otherwise you're going to get locked out of something.
Probably.
And then you're going to be like, oh, man. Well, which is also genius for the fuckers over at Proton Mail, who overall, again, I like their service.
Yeah, it's good service.
The fact that you get unlimited aliases also locks you into their system, because once you sign up for 40 different things with 40 different email addresses that are only tied to that.
Which, remember, that's always been my argument for what's better than changing your password every other day. Don't use the same email. Use a unique email for every service you have. That way, if their database of users ends up getting compromised and they have a leak or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, we lost your username and password. It doesn't matter if you have the same password on your other services, because that email is only used with them. So it just doesn't matter. That's why I think, statistically speaking, you're better off using unique emails and not unique passwords. Now, if you do both, that's even better.
Right.
I'm not going to say that's not. It's absolutely better. But if you're going to pick one, which one do you have unique? You're better off having a unique email than a unique password.
Well, because all you have to do is memorize one really good password.
Yeah, which dude named Ben claimed his is 26 characters.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's A, B, C, D, F, G, and so on.
The alphabet. Well, I use a password management system.
Yeah, so does he. I don't trust that shit. The only password management I trust is my brain.
Well, see, that's a problem, because that's going to fail long before.
And that's a trigger for when the brain fails. Certain things will happen if I don't log in on a regular basis.
Right. That's when the handlers come get you.
I want that to be the case. I don't want, if I can't remember my passwords, then I have hit a milestone.
Well, and for me, it is a bunch of different words.
Yeah.
And numbers. But it's a long, which typing it in can be a royal pain in the ass, which is why the whole Apple Watch unlocking the computer was like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
Because
and this is the typing in long passwords. This is why, this is certainly not my password, but it could be, is QWERTY because you could just do it with one finger very quickly.
So Gene's I need to type with only
Top
one
row
hand.
of your keyboard.
Only one hand. I need to type with just one hand.
Yeah, one hand, one finger, top row of your keyboard. You know, if you got to use a password for a porn site, it's not a bad password to use.
Yeah, my password manager one is 24 characters.
Of course.
It's got to be long enough. I mean, you got to be big.
And you probably even use 2 fingers.
Yeah, sometimes 3. I found the guy's channel on YouTube. It is Gamers Nexus.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
And he was like,
he's
like, it's such a ripoff, the Alienware Area 51. And the case was big. I mean, again, like all these things, it's like, damn, so big.
Yeah.
The Apple is so cute. It's little. It does most things, but not everything.
The studio's fatter, though.
Yes. Be wider, be a little taller.
Mm-hmm.
But again, this is a lot of it predicated on the fact that I got a bunch of machines that Windows is fucking me in the ass of, which makes it really feel dirty to go to another
Windows.
Yeah. Although I know there are fucking window fires things that I can do to turn off all of that stuff, because on my main desktop, I've had a password, but I've never had it require the password. On your machines at home, do you sit down and require the password, or is it just unlocked all the time?
I think once a day,
which is fine. I didn't even want that with the Windows machine. It's like it just
want to be never show me a password.
You're like, because it's a pain in the one. Once Windows started prompting me for this password is old, you must put in a new password. And I just kept putting in the same password, and that's always worked. But it's like, why do I need to fucking put a new password on my machine?
Yeah, fair enough.
Don't want to do it. Do not want to do it. And Windows, fuck them and all their advertising and everything. Like, don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I love for all the people that are always like, go to Linux, man. Linux is great. Did you see the exploit on like almost all major Linux distributions?
That sounds nothing like Ben, by the way, but
is that what he goes, that his thing, like Linux. The from Bleeping Computer, this sounds like a grumpy old Ben's new Linux UDisk flaw lets attackers get root access on major Linux distributions.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Is that what happens when your operating system starts becoming popular?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they start finding things.
Because that's the bit they all kind of refuse to believe, and it's pretty obvious, is every hardly ever used operating system is secure. Why? Because no one fucking uses it and no one bothers trying to crack it.
Right.
So the Macs used to have no viruses. I remember, this is historical data. Back in, this would have been 1988-ish. I ran a bulletin board on the Mac for developers. And I put out a challenge to write a virus for the Mac because there were no viruses for the Mac at the time.
And because you were 17 years old.
And because I was under 18. Exactly.
Everything was legal back then.
Exactly. Everything was legal. So I put out a contest. We did a contest for a virus. You had to do a proof of, that it worked. One of the guys on my board who was a lawyer, which was hilarious, but he was also a hobbyist developer. He did write a virus and sent it to me, and I was able to demonstrate that it would pop up and it would replicate itself and move to another Mac. And then he won that contest. I can't remember what the prize was, but it was something.
But candy bar?
He wrote a absolutely working virus. Now, it never got released, obviously. It was for a contest. But it predated the first released virus on the Mac by, I think, about a year. So it was pretty cool that we were doing that ahead of the curve. But that was back in the olden days when I used to develop software and do things like that. Hack develop software, all those things.
Well, that makes sense.
All the things.
And yeah, there will always be more found on the more popular machines, on the more popular software that's being used. Hell, you can hack anything from your coffee pot now to your light bulbs to...
Yeah, well, these days, you could have an AI write software to hack something.
Well, this is it as well. And the AI, you can fool it. It's very easy. People are always like, well, can't we put guardrails in place? No. No, you cannot.
No.
And it's great when people go, I'm trying to, for the hobbyists now, when you can get to the BIOS, you can get to the software that is being used to run a variety of things. Now, if you want to add things to it, even if you're a horrible programmer, you just throw that file into ChatGPT or whichever one you're using and be like, do this. And there's a 50-50 chance it'll do what you want it to do.
Yeah.
And if not, go try a different one. But yeah, for everybody that's like, oh man, Linux, it's the best. Sure. Sure it is. It's great until it's not.
Well, but now the other side, meaning something good about Linux, is you remember last week we talked about how in the recent test of video game performance, Linux actually beat Windows on the same machine.
Oh yeah. Less bloat.
Yep.
Less bloat. It just works less in the way of the software running. Probably because you don't have the operating system going, oh no, is this a virus? Oh no, is this somebody trying to bypass our advertising? Oh no.
Yes, the advertising is definitely something you want to bypass.
Windows likes to do that. I mean, it's still hard to fathom as somebody that grew up with Windows. First system was Windows 95. And to where they have gotten at this point with all of the crap that they're throwing at you with the advertising plus we'll just take a screenshot every 3 seconds. That'll be great.
Yeah, that's the ridiculous part, right?
And I'm sure you can turn it off if you know what you're doing.
Not so much. Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, I mean, I'm sure you probably have to go in and hack the software to do it, do your de-bloated Windows.
Oh, but it'll tell you but this information is never sent and encrypted anywhere. It's all fully encrypted, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so it's just like fucking Proton Mail. Everything's great. Don't worry about anything. But to be fair,
Proton Mail.
Yeah, but now it's like, okay, people are like, yeah, you can do all that image and video creation with those NVIDIA cards. You can do that on Linux. I'm like, yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I could. But why would I?
Yeah. Well, you'd have to be smart to do that. Though.
I know. Well, I don't even know if it's smart anymore, but you have to be willing to put up with extra hassles. And as far as the operating systems, and I know I'm speaking out of my ass because I haven't tried a Linux distribution. Maybe I should again.
Yeah.
But between Windows and Mac, I will give a big nod again to the Apple ecosystem for the basic things just work. Does it have a lot of weird little quirks to it that you have to find answers for? Yes.
Do you remember that I spent a year trying to talk you into getting a Mac?
No, I don't remember.
How
long have we been doing this show anyway?
Like 7 years.
Fuck. Wow.
I know. 7 years with no money coming in. It's great.
It's the best business in the world.
Actually, I think the first year money came in to the point where I had to tell people stop sending it.
Right. You're like, don't do that anymore. Although I think if we can get this on YouTube, we would be rolling in the dough.
Oh, dude. No doubt about it.
I think it's hilarious.
I do too.
There are channels.
Hilarious.
Well, Adam mentioned it on No Agenda the other day. Or maybe it was Dvorak, because they said Mimi watches Max Velocity, the weather guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I have to say, we've run into his show a few times. And when the storms are going on, there was a tornado the other day that was just surreal and beautiful. And he had all that on. But the greatest thing was like the guy's just sitting there listening to and watching what other storm chasers are doing and putting them up on the screen and having the alerts when and that's all automated when a new tornado warning hits.
Sure. Yeah.
And like every 3, 5, 10 seconds, it's like, hey, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the super chat.
Yep.
Like, dude, where's our super chats?
Totally.
Where's our boosts? Okay, CSB sent in 15.15. That's like $1.50 CSB. Come on. He just says curva. Like that's a thing. Is that a real word?
There you go. It's not a real word.
Not even a real word, CSB.
Dude, that's definitely a real word. That word is used all throughout the video game Kingdom Come Deliverance.
The other channel I looked up as far as what it is possibly making in ad revenue was Beard versus Food. And that dude, man, he is entertaining. I like him. And when you see that he's making tens of thousands, if not in the 6 figures a month, you go, wow, that's the gig I never thought of.
When you're making 6 figures a month eating food, you got a pretty good gig.
Yeah, I know. It's like, what's your job? I go places and I eat.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically all that Anthony Bourdain did.
Right. Well, until, but it's like, it's a great gig. And the amount of people.
It's a great gig until you're so depressed, you end up,
Right. True.
Then it's not as great a gig.
He was a little bit different where he was, Beard is not going into Iran or, he's not going into areas where he could most likely be killed. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me, even some of the videos from years ago, how many people the minute he walks into one of these restaurants know who he is. Like the YouTube thing is real. The YouTube is way. Yeah. It is not just a niche thing anymore.
No, it hasn't been for years.
And the kind of money you're making on that, it's like, damn. It's like
most people make very little, but the people that make money can make the high end is really high. The only place you can make more money, but not if you're a guy, is OnlyFans.
True. Gene's tried OnlyFans. He knows from experience. The requests are very weird that he gets. No, I think you could probably make money as a guy on OnlyFans, but you're probably going to have
not the same kind of money.
No, but your fans are going to be probably guys as well.
Oh, that could be too. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because guys are the ones throwing money at this.
Yeah, exactly. Women don't spend money on OnlyFans. That's, I think, pretty obvious.
They're like, we have better things. We pay $500 to have our nails painted.
Yeah, nails, shoes, you name it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no good. No bueno. So that's what I'm thinking. I want to look at the Hey Gen, or if anybody has a better idea. But if you can get a fairly usable avatar to add to existing audio, I would be very interested in that, because it wouldn't be hard, especially moving forward for new episodes, to do the Tim Pool thing, to have a web page in the background, those kind of things to add extra. And that's even better, because even if the avatar is not so good, if you just did a little teeny portion of the screen, then it's way easier to get away with, I would think. And I think it's great because you can then just do a podcast with yourself, because all you have to do is have the 2 audio sources. So you do the one, and then you do the other one, and then you overlap every now and then, so it seems totally legit. But then you do the voice changer, and then you have it seem like a totally different character that you're doing the podcast with. That's how Bemrose could do a podcast with a co-host.
You have a different character, yeah.
Yeah, be like, otherwise nobody will talk to him. He's very depressed about that.
But no one will talk to him?
Yeah.
Why would someone talk to him?
Exactly. Why wouldn't they, you mean, or why would they?
Well, no, I mean, why would they?
Exactly. Why he wants to do a whole different podcast with like an AI co-star. Would be great.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to find. The AI that can do the avatar, because I think putting some videos up might be fun. but I don't
Sure.
actually want to do much in the realm of
You
video.
don't want to be in front of the video. Yeah. I get it. No, I'm right there with you. I mean, I do all my video game videos without a camera, and no one seems to care. Like, I've always heard, I was like, oh yeah, if you don't do camera, then you're going to get no viewers. Dude, I keep getting subscribers while I was on vacation and not streaming.
No way.
I know, right? It's amazing.
People are like, can you tell me more about this video game that came out in 1947, Gene?
I got 200 new subscribers during about a month-long period when I didn't post a single video.
I wonder how many subscribers.
Did we get 200 new subscribers in this podcast? I don't think so.
Ever? I mean, I don't know. We can't really tell how many subscribers we have. That's part of the joy of...
The joy of doing podcasting is that there was no mechanism for telling how many subscribers you have.
You have absolutely no idea how many people are actually listening, except for
all
the ones.
All you know is number of downloads.
Right.
And you know also that the downloads just tell you the maximum possible number of people listening, but not the actual number of people listening.
We have like 5 people listening live right now. I mean, that is an audience beyond belief for the show.
We know we have at least 7 that listen then, because dude named Ben usually downloads the podcast and listens.
Hey, how you doing, dude named Ben?
Mm-hmm.
He's in
Mexico right now.
Whoa, what is he, nuts?
I know, right?
What is he, crazy? The NASCAR driver who's like 21 years old or so, young kid, Carson Hocevar. They're making him go through like anger management and sensitivity training because he called Mexico City a shithole city on a podcast. I know. You know, it's like there should be some kind of this was watching a Bill O'Reilly show yesterday, and he's showing 2 different female mayors, not that it matters what their sex is, but 2 female mayors in Mexico who were killed over the last couple of days. I'm like, it is a shithole country. It's a lawless country. It is not, some place that, I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing for the NASCAR teams to go down there and not be fucked with, somebody got paid off. The cartels got paid off. Otherwise, there's no way they went in with all that equipment into the middle of Mexico City. It's not like they just went over the border. They went down into Mexico City. That I don't think there's any way that happens without the cartels getting paid off.
Yeah.
Let's see our downloads. What are our downloads for this show for this year? The number 1 show has 2,000 downloads
of one episode.
Yeah. But there are always weird outliers, and I don't really know why. It's like there's an episode, and it's always happened with all the different podcasts. There's no way to be like, oh, it's it's because we talked about this. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Mm-hmm.
The last episode, the amount of downloads, 1,001, which isn't really bad.
It's not bad. Yeah. Yeah. And so that would translate usually into having 10 people donating, because you got about 1% donating. So if 1,000 downloads, you should have 10 people that actually are donating. And that's the average. Now, some do better than that. You'd have 15 to 20. Some do worse than that. You have 0.
Yes.
But that would be the average.
156, the show before that one. 729 downloads. So why? Why is that?
Well, we had a week where I was on vacation, so
54, 55, and 56 are all right next to each other, about 750.
Yeah, but they're not a week apart, is my point.
No, but they're all just different shows, and they're all at like 150 a piece. Or 750 a piece, where all of a sudden last week 1,000. Why? I don't know. Where did those extra 250 downloads come from?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
It's a mystery.
You don't know because nobody knows.
That's why you should support the show. Otherwise, it could disappear. Next week, you can come tune in and be like, crickets.
Could happen. You never know.
Gene and I could be off doing other things.
You never know.
He could be at the sushi guy's place, picking up some sushi.
Could be sushi eating.
I'll be riding the bike going, yeah. Watching more YouTube videos about really high-priced hardware. I want that. I want the hardware. I want the PC that just streams right through all the AI stuff. I want it to be quick, but it's expensive.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Gene's going to have to find a real job.
I might have to. This show doesn't pay enough. I have to push the YouTube thing more.
Well, exactly. This is it. Then I think just doing the give it your RSS feed and they put up the static image thing, that's no bueno. That's not doing dick all. Anybody that hasn't tried that and they're thinking about trying that, fuck that. Don't try it. Not going to get you anything.
No.
The concept that, you put your podcast RSS feed up on YouTube and, people are going to see it and they're going to love it and they're going
to do diddly squat.
No. But you can do your own. That's what got to get the avatars. I think that would be fun.
And, getting these days, I think half the people assume that when they hear podcast that it's a video thing anyway.
I know.
I blame Joe Rogan for that.
Right. Well, the terminology has gotten so muddled, which it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Podcast is just synonymous for an interview show, and it has nothing to do with the media anymore.
That's what Bill O'Reilly thought. That's why I sent a couple clips to Adam with Bill O'Reilly. Like, well, no, a podcast is a bunch of grubby guys in T-shirts and shorts, where a broadcast is, somebody dressed dapperly doing a...
That's the only difference?
Yeah, that's what he thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it all just comes on how it is transferred, obviously. If you have an RSS feed, you have a podcast. And for a lot of people, some of these shows are actually broadcast and then turned into a podcast. So what do you have? Well, you have both.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's both a broadcast and a podcast. If you get it on the RSS feed, it's a podcast. If you watch it live on television, then it's a broadcast. It's a little different. Most people don't have the television aspect to it. They're all just streaming, which, I don't think that really changes anything, but you're correct. When the whole podcast thing started, it was audio. And then you had, was it vidcast? What did Leo say?
Yeah, he had some other term for it.
Like from people you love, something, I forget what it even was, videos or, but it's like, this is it. It wasn't a different
podcast.
No,
it was something yeah.
It was some quirky other word that they were using.
Livecast or I don't know.
And that was trying to differentiate. And Netcast, thank you, Bemrose.
Netcast, that's correct. Somebody should have come up with that already.
Technically, everybody was already doing Netcast now. We're all doing net. We're on the net, right? We're casting, yeah.
We're all cast.
We're all casting.
Yeah.
But the concept of what is a podcast and what do people think it should have? There's a lot of people who put the video on, but then never really pay attention to the video. I don't know if that hurts.
The video killed the radio star.
The Buggles, baby. What a song. First song ever played on MTV back in the day. Video killed the radio star.
Sure did.
Yeah. And then what happened? Then MTV don't even play music videos because YouTube killed it.
Killed it. Yeah, exactly.
Which is hilarious. MTV's like, yeah, we could play Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making the team. How about that? That'd be, or is that CMT? One of the country music television, maybe.
Difference. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, well, that's because it's the on-demand viewing is gone. The program, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Where you have to go watch it at a certain time. I'm like, no. Now you just get things when you want them. You just turn on
whenever you want them.
And it's great because, I just started watching Beard versus Food, and it's like, wow, this guy's got like 8,000 videos. So every time I watch one, 5 more pop up in my timeline, like, oh, watch this. Watch this.
Pretty cool.
And I do, which is why we need to be on YouTube. But I don't want to be on YouTube. But the avatar thing, it just seemed way too cheap. If anybody out there has used HeyGen, let me know.
How cheap was it again?
Because I saw AI, I think it was AI Samson talking about it. Yeah. The HeyGen, no, not Hey Jackass. That tells me where things are going on in Chirac. HeyGen is the AI video generator pricing. You can go by API. No, I don't want API pricing. The creator account is $29 a month. Unlimited videos up to 30 minutes, 1080p video export.
I mean, that's all you need.
Kind of. And if it's like unlimited videos, well, 30 minutes, who cares? So we have a 2-hour show, so you make it 4 segments.
Yeah.
Not really that hard. And then you get also a custom video avatar. I don't know how they don't do that on the other plans. 1 custom interactive avatar. 700 plus stock video avatars. So, I mean, you can, again, I guess this is where you could do a podcast and have different people on and be like, it's voice cloning. They do voice cloning, generate looks, whatever that means. Look packs, watermark removal, and a brand kit. Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
And then there's a Teams plan that is $39 a month, which seems to add maybe 1 video avatar.
Okay.
But for the $29, and that's monthly, yearly it's $24 a month. That doesn't seem bad.
No.
If it doesn't look totally like shit, because this gives you, everything that you need to get your video up on the YouTubes, I would think. Unlimited voice cloning. What is that? I mean, okay. Clone your voice from an audio file in minutes. Easily create unlimited voice clones to cast in your videos. That's for $24 a month. That seems too cheap.
That seems appropriately priced.
Yeah, that seems. This is the reason why it doesn't seem accurate, because it's like it does seem to create videos of talking avatars from a still image, and you can do up to 3 of those. No, wait, up to 10 of those for the $24. So, I mean, hell, you could even have yourself in, like, how many different color tracksuits do you have? If it's under 10, you've got every look covered.
Really? Wow, that's pretty good. No, I probably got about 12.
Well, then you'd have to get to the next plan, but you're close.
Huh.
And one's like turn a single photo and script into a realistic talking video using our new avatar model. Generate avatar scenes at varying lengths up to 30 seconds. Well, that doesn't seem like much. Motion gesture controls, 20 uses.
Do a month and see how it works.
Yeah, not a bad idea. We will be YouTube millionaires by the time that month is up.
Well, you never know.
I just need to create the avatar of a buxom young blonde, change my voice into a wispy female and talk about nerdy things. I
sent you a video years ago of, what was it called? The avatar. Now, you thought she looked way too cartoony.
And some do.
But I think she looks pretty damn good. She didn't get a OnlyFans page.
Well, a lot of people don't know Gene has an OnlyFans page as an AI character that nobody's aware is AI.
That's right.
That's where he's making all of his money.
Well, you got to make it somewhere.
And CSB, he is obviously a subscriber to that page too. Yeah, we know what you're doing, CSB.
Clearly.
NetNet says the results vary about how realistic the motion looks. He's messed with it a bit. So I got to mess with the HeyGen. Because I'm guessing, again, if you're doing it as a full screen thing, I can see where the limitations might be there. But if you're doing it as like a Tim Pool again, cutaway.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it could work. We'll find out.
What I didn't realize until recently, and I guess it's been going on for a long time, is you know how YouTube tries to push you into doing the short videos, the vertical ones?
Right. They love those.
They love pushing that shit. You start watching normal video, next thing you know, they've changed you over on your recommendations to the little.
Yeah, they want to fuck with your attention span. I don't know.
Here's what I didn't know about is, did you know that you can live stream a vertical video And if you live stream a vertical video, YouTube will add your vertical video to its list of videos it tries to push to people.
Really?
So you can actually watch for the first time, I watched a live stream vertical video of a gamer dude talking. And I was like, to make sure it's live, I actually commented, I said, so YouTube will stream in vertical format and add you automatically to the scrolling, scroll up, scroll down thing. And he actually replied right on the video. So I knew it was live. Said, yep, been that way for a while. So that's a thing. Because I think the vertical format, and Tim Pool is doing a lot of basically editing down his normal video show into a lot of those vertical clips as well.
Right.
Because they tend to get pushed up more. The algos, because those clips are meant to be short, they don't have to be, but they're meant to be short. And people will just scroll up and down. It's just like Instagram, or not Instagram. It's just like TikTok. And so if you do a longer or like a live video, which could be hours, that still gets pushed into the recommended thing. People will scroll up, and next thing you know, they're watching you live. And when you're live, they tend not to, leave. Imagine if we had our avatars yapping live on YouTube right now, like we're talking.
It would be great.
Yeah, we'd be like generating all kinds of live money.
People be like, you're live, let me give you a super chat.
Mm-hmm.
Super chat me up. Come on, super chat.
Yep.
We got a message. We got a bad joke from CSB. Did you see this just come in on?
No, I don't have my phone on during the show. I think it's bad manners to watch your phone during a show.
No, it's great. It's perfect manners. It's to know what kind of support is coming in live for the show.
You don't have to watch the phone to know that.
The support is coming in. You got it up on your screen?
No, it's just 0.
What?
Mm-hmm.
No. It's a joke here. I'll send it to you.
Why don't you just say it?
Okay. A Jew and an Irishman start a podcast.
Oh my God, you're fucking racist.
Hey, it's not me. Arguing over who's more screwed by history. The Jew says,
oh,
we survived ovens. You just drank through famines. The Irishman snaps. Yeah, but your stingy ass would have sold the potatoes. They both laugh, then cry because the podcast had already been canceled for being too offensive. Oh, maybe that's not a joke.
That's not even a joke. That's just true. Yeah, exactly.
He's just saying what happened. No, I get you now.
Pretty much. He's not. AI is.
Yeah. CSB is now the unrelenting historian. This is how it all came about.
This is prehistory, damn it.
Yeah. This is how it all came about.
That is funny.
It's one of those things.
And you know the whole story with the potato famine, right?
Yeah, there were no famines. There were potatoes.
Wait, there was no famines?
No, there was never an Irish famine. It's like like the Holocaust.
What it was
that never happened.
The Irish decided to sell their potatoes instead of eating them, and resulted in no food.
Did they sell them to the Russians?
To the British, who made crisps with them.
Oh, I like crisps.
Yeah.
You put malt. You put malt. Well, as long as you have a little bit of the malt vinegar, then fries and malt vinegar.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is fries and mayonnaise, which I know.
Mayonnaise.
It's hard to believe I have high cholesterol, isn't it?
I know. It's right. Oh, shit. I should send you a song. I watched the YouTube video. That's pretty funny yesterday.
No.
It's amazing that I would say that, of course, but there's a video that showed the
Yes.
It was a fat dude singing rock song about butter.
Butter?
Like he's got 99 problems and they all start with butter.
Butter. You put it on your popcorn. Butter.
Yeah. And it's like apparently butter makes you fat.
I mean, a lot of things do.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise too.
I've never really used a whole lot of butter. I've tended to be, I use it some, but not probably as much as other people.
You ever just dip your butter in the mayonnaise? That's a good snack.
No, I've never dipped my butter in the mayonnaise.
But you have to have butter if you're going to make eggs. You got to put the butter in the pan.
When I was at the Food Fest in Chicago, I remember seeing
the Bears
deep fried butter.
Yeah, the Bears.
Literally deep fried butter. Think about that, people.
Yeah. Deep fried butter, and people were loving it. And a nice crispy crust on it.
There's a line waiting for deep fried butter.
Because people are like, how do you do that? Wouldn't it melt? It's like deep fried ice cream. They don't get the super freeze. You don't get the super freeze. You don't understand that the ice cream is so cold that, of course, just the outside could get crispy from being fried, but the inside won't turn to liquid. But you got to have it super frozen.
Yeah.
Butter the same way.
Just frozen butter that is dipped into some kind of a carb thing, like, breadcrumbs or something.
Well, a little more than that, man. Got some savory seasonings.
Yeah, it's dipped into that so it all sticks to the butter. And then the frozen butter is dipped into the boiling oil where it is fried up, where the outside is crispy and the inside is just starting to thaw.
The Bears! You start my heart! The Bears!
Yeah. Yeah, who would have thunk that was not a skit?
It's all very realistic in Chicago. When you go and you sit down for a tailgate, you got your Italian beef, you got your giardiniera, and people are like, "Oh, but that's okay because it's peppers and it's like a vegetable."
Peppers. Yeah, I eat those.
You know how much fat is in fucking giardiniera, man? All that oil, and you didn't know? You didn't? Whoa, you didn't? Sorry to ruin your healthy.
Told me this. Like, nobody told me this.
Look, I love giardiniera. I mean, it is so good. It is so good, but so bad for you. I miss, and I guess I'm kind of happy that they closed in our area. Al's Italian Beef, one of the major ones in Chicago. We had one out here for a while, but then it closed. But the best thing was the blue cheese fries, which was a big.
That's like truffle blue cheese is the best.
Oh man, it was a big pile of fries, and the fries were nice. They were crispy. They were big, and then it was covered in a like half blue cheese dressing and half crumbled blue cheese. That was so good. But I don't even want to know. Good. Again, I have high cholesterol. Surprise!
I've got groceries coming, and now you're getting me thinking I should still order lunch.
You're like, I need some blue cheese covered fries. Who can make this for me?
So good, dude. I'm so bummed. My local used to be my favorite kebab place. I don't order from anymore.
Because they offended you?
First of all, they increased the price.
Everything is up, dude. We went for breakfast with my mom, and we picked up a to-go order from my dad because he didn't want to leave the house. But that's another story. $77 fucking dollars for breakfast.
Damn.
For 4, like just eggs, omelet, skillet.
That's not cheap at all.
No, we used to, because my mom's like, remember when we used to come for breakfast? And this would be probably 5 years ago.
I remember Berries.
And it was a great place, Royal Berry. And she's like, we'd always leave a $10 tip, knowing it was just a little over 20%. So it's like, that the food at that point was probably $45, now $77. It's like almost doubled. Really, you're closing in on doubling the price.
Stuff has doubled. I know for a fact, and we've mentioned this before when I went there, the price of the preferred barbecue place in Austin, it's not the best, but it's also one is where you don't have to stand in line for 3 hours.
Right, which is inconvenient if you're hungry.
Which is why I call it preferred. Because I'm not going to stand in line.
Wait, you don't have a stand in line guy for you?
No. They don't. That's the problem. They don't even deliver from that place because it takes too long.
Don't you have a guy like on Fiverr that'll just go stand there and then you show up when it's your turn?
Yeah. $60 an hour.
Whoa. Those Fiverr guys are expensive.
Fiverr guys have gotten expensive, man. It's like $5 a minute basically now.
That's why Fiverr. It's like kind of like going into the dollar store. Not everything's a dollar.
I used to do custom voices on Fiverr.
For people? Or like to buy them or to do them?
No, I used to do them. You could like rent me.
Rent Gene for $5, everybody. Come on
Fiverr. On Fiverr. I used to do a voice that was Frisco Slim.
Well, howdy.
That's about it. Yeah, pretty much.
Come on down to Unrelenting.
Uh-huh.
We got the rootinest, tootinest podcast you'll ever hear.
You could be my double.
See, there we go. We got a whole new gig coming. We were going to do radio shows.
Well, what's that?
I know. It was audio books before
like
there were audio books. Right.
Yeah, it's like a live stream of a podcast or what?
Yeah, with telling a story.
That literally is a live stream of a podcast.
Yeah. Just telling a story in different voices, different characters.
That Orson Hitchcock guy used to do those, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And we go like, oh, it's the War of the Worlds. Oh no, Gene! I'm looking out my window. I see spaceships in the air, Gene.
Which ones? I know how to fly all of them.
This one says Sir Gene on the side of it. Should I fire it at? Should we fire the photon torpedoes?
That's an unofficial version of that. Definitely firing it.
Somebody is they're interloping here.
Yeah.
The fact when people would turn on the radio in the middle of one of those and be like, oh my God, this is real. It's like,
right?
That's the people now that go onto social media and believe everything they see. Same thing. Same thing. People telling stories. That's all it is.
That is crazy.
But now with AI, we could have somebody else do the voices for us.
Well, that's the beauty. The voices, the videos, the everything.
Then
write the script for the show.
Maybe more people would tune in then.
Hey, is the Grumpy Tech News still going?
It's not for a while. I think he gave up.
No? Oh, did he? Okay.
I think he did like one. He was kind of like what Sir Gene Speaks, where there's like one episode like every 6 months.
For Sir Gene Speaks.
Like, it's like maybe we should do it.
I'm
maybe
debating no longer paying for it.
Oh, you're going to let it go? But then what about
I'm debating.
What about all those old episodes? Where are you going to put them?
That's my point. I'm debating to just take them offline.
April 18th, 2025 was the last
for other people
angry
to download that
tech news. April of 2025. So April, May. It's been 2 months, Bemrose. You're not really that angry and you're not really that newsworthy if it's 2 months between shows.
The problem is he can't say anything about Amazon anymore. So that took out like most of his segments.
Clone your voice, Bemrose.
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
I did that with your voice.
Clone your voice. Go to Bleeping Computer, pick 3 stories and have it read them. Well, no, I'm sorry.
First, and no one will notice.
Right. Well, first, if you read it directly, maybe they will. But you take those stories, you put them into ChatGPT and say, Bemrose me, and it'll spit that out. And then you give it to your 11 Labs voice, and you just put it out. You could have a daily news show.
And it only costs you like $50 a month in fees.
Yeah, which you could probably recoup with donations. You're like 50. You're like, that's thinking way too much. $50 a month.
That's asking a lot.
$50. We still have a donor named Anastasia Treckles who is still sending Grumpy Old Ben's $10 a month.
That's crazy.
Sir Fudge Fountain's also coming in with like $2.97 a month.
That's even worse crazy.
Yeah. They're like, come back, Grumpy Old Ben's. They're begging. We did a Christmas episode. I'm guessing maybe that might be the next episode.
We should do a Christmas episode.
But you're Jew. I hear from CSB.
You're Jew?
You're Jew. How could you do a Christmas episode? How could it just wouldn't make any sense.
I released a Christmas song last year, I'll have you know.
What was it called?
Happy Christmas.
So it's the John Lennon song. Which was Happy Christmas.
I released it. It's totally mine.
Totally legit.
Completely mine.
The wife and I briefly considered going down to Kansas City during December for the Hallmark Christmas Fest.
I've been there multiple times for that. It's beautiful.
And
why wouldn't you?
Just too much money.
Anything better to do.
I mean, it came down to by the time you would.
It's like an hour-long drive for you.
It's a little longer than that, but
it's a day-long drive for you.
We can pop on a train and be there in 7.5 hours.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
Which isn't bad at all.
No.
But By the time you pay, and it's at the Westin, which is a nice hotel, and I'm not going to complain about the rates of the
It's
Westin.
not at the Westin, dude.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I mean, it's
The whole damn downtown.
well, I'm
uptown.
sure there's a lot going on. Their preferred hotel, which is right across from the main thing, the Westin, where they have, it's like a Comic-Con, I guess, which is kind of interesting. It's like, so you get all the, like 4 different weekends, they bring a bunch of the Hallmark actors and actresses in, and they do panels and all these kind of things, which is like, okay, it's close enough. It would be something to do, but adding everything up because food wasn't included. And there's a really, I guess there's like a James Beard winning restaurant in the Westin there that they're only open for special occasions. But the dinner was like $250 or $500 a person. The brunch was really, and they're like, the hot chocolate. We watched a video from last year and it's like, oh, here's the hot chocolate's great, but it's $8, for a little hot chocolate. Everything is so expensive.
It is. Yeah. So the Hallmark Center is not particularly pretty, not great if you go there, but
well, they do like a tree lighting 3 or 4 times a night.
It doesn't matter. The more impressive bit is in the plaza in Kansas City, where they light up the whole plaza on it's either the week before Thanksgiving or the week of Thanksgiving. And I've gone to that multiple times. And we're talking about like a 4x8 block size area that gets lit up.
And I'm sure this is a part of that. So now this is the Hallmark puts their little spin on it. They have a bunch of little stands so you can go and have that idyllic little Christmas vibe. But by the time you'd add everything up, I was like, it's going to cost $4,000. And I'm like, really, I'd rather buy a fucking computer with $4,000 than.
Oh, well, yeah. If you put it that way.
Like it's either something that you're going to enjoy for 3 or 4 days to big ass computer. I want to go to Kansas City because I do know the barbecue there is nice.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite barbecue.
And
we're not talking brisket there, we're talking ribs.
Yeah. And I want to go to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum. And that's down in Kansas City.
Yep. Been to that. It was just south of downtown, yeah.
And I'm like, this would be great. It was like a mile or so, mile and a half from the Westin. I'm like, it would be very easy to do all. The train station is literally right across the street from the Westin. So it's not like you have to. It's a
beautiful train station, too.
It looked like it.
Kansas City has the World War I monument, the main monument for American soldiers of World War I there, which is really cool. It's like, it's very. It's very World War I-ish.
I would hope so if it's the World War I museum.
Yeah. Like big and brutal and like, yeah, fuck everybody. America.
We are the fighters. We are freedom.
We won the World War.
So it looked like a lot of really cool things. It was just.
I love Kansas City. I've spent probably about 30 years going to Kansas City.
Wow. When's the last time you were there?
Last time I was there was a long time ago. It was pre-COVID. I want to say.
Yes.
I'm thinking.
It's very suspenseful.
Dude. I'm doing math. 8 years ago. I was there 8 years ago.
Oh, well, maybe we need to meet up in Kansas City then.
Yeah, I totally would do that. I would totally meet up in Kansas City.
Have some barbecue.
Yeah. Definitely barbecue.
Videos of us eating barbecue.
There's definitely no videos of us eating barbecue. Yeah. It is really good. It is very good.
So that was the thought there. But then it's like, the cost. And it's like, everything was, everything had a price on it. And I'm not saying anything particularly was overpriced. But you need
your computer first of all.
I would think so. Because
that would give you long-term benefit.
And then you create the content and you make enough money and then you can afford to go to the next one next year.
That's the way to think about it. Yeah, because, from here, from Dallas, Kansas City was 8 hours. And I'm 2.5 hours south. So it's like a 10-hour drive to Kansas City from here.
It's not too bad.
It's basically 2 days. It would have been one day when I was young. At this stage in my life, it's basically 2 days.
Well, you've got to be able to hop on the train, right? Isn't there a...
There is a train. I've never taken the train here, but there technically is a train station here.
I'm assuming you got one that goes through Kansas City. I could be wrong, because I know we have one that goes from Chicago to Austin.
It does. It goes through Kansas City. So from here, it's a direct shot on the old Amtrak's up to Kansas City. It's the old beef lines, It's Kansas City, Chicago.
Yeah, you got to get them to the stockyard so we can slaughter them sons of bitches and make ribs.
So it's from here to Fort Worth. And then Fort Worth is where the stockyards were, or not the cattle yards, not the stockyards. Well, I guess.
Yeah, Chicago was the stockyards.
Yeah. Well, I think they got the stockyards in down there as well. But it was the place that they brought the beef once a year when the beef grew.
The beef.
Sufficiently. The beef, exactly.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep them doggies rolling, rawhide.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a great show. Rawhide. If you've never seen Rawhide, great series from back in the day.
It's a good show, yeah. Yeah.
Was well
there was
written.
A lot of good series back then, It's
I know.
not like these days.
I know now everything is shit. Even the Lego show is shit.
Oh shit. Back when I was a kid, everything was good. Now it's all shit. The world gone to shit.
And they're getting rid of Will Arnett after this season and bringing a black guy in to do the hosting. I'm guessing it was just too white of a show because the two Lego judges are white. It was probably like, oh, too many whiteys.
No whiteys allowed. That's the thing nowadays.
Got to be diverse. The only way to be on TV. It's the only way to be on ABC or whatever they're
diverse.
on. Or Fox or whatever it is. It's all the same. All the same.
FSN Fox BC. Yes.
It's all the same. You put a letter in, you get the same.
Fox NBC.
The same crap comes out the other side.
And stuff and things.
Yeah. Unlike the Mighty No Agenda stream, where it is all totally different.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm plumb out of things to say.
No, that can't be.
I'm plumb out. I got my groceries coming in about half an hour.
Is this why Sir Gene Speaks went away? You ran out of things to say? This is just finally what happened?
I said it all.
Okay, here, I'm going to give you one genius idea, though, right before we take all of those episodes of Sir Gene Speaks offline.
And condense them and make them into YouTube videos?
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually. That is a damn good idea, actually.
Uh-huh.
I might do that.
I've wondered if an AI can do this fairly well, which would be take the content that you've released and, like you said, condense it. I mean, I can physically do it.
You know what else would be good for that is with the 65 or so episodes of Sir Gene Speaks is just to make a book.
I've thought about that as well. I'm like, can I put the 380 episodes, whatever I've had of random thoughts?
That's more than one book. Yeah, you could totally do that. Yeah, I
put all the transcripts in.
Yeah.
And be like, suggest books.
It would probably, you got some overlap, so it'd probably be not quite 360 hours worth of reading in there, but you could probably take all those shows and do like a book a month for several years.
Yeah. It's genius.
Yeah. You know what's amazing? We went for 2 hours and didn't mention Iran once.